People, Deluded. A quick vid. I'm not going to be here long. In fact, I want to record another vid, but I just had these thoughts. And I feel in today's day and age, yeah, in general, even in Arsenal's case, I know Arsenal, for a number of years now, we haven't been the Arsenal of old. We haven't been the Arsenal that we was given false pretenses to in regards to Bayern Munich level. We haven't even had the ambition really and truly to aspire to that. These are hard-hitting facts. And although we've made improvements and stuff, for honest, we're playing catch-up, people. Commercially, financially, years of complacency, years of being mismanaged in several incidences, both on and off the field, by many individuals, including our ex-manager. I love Arsene Wenger, but we got to keep it true. We're playing catch-up. But one thing I think is not just in Arsenal's case, I actually ironically feel in Man United's case with their players, I feel people underestimate togetherness. I feel people can see in their own workplaces, oh, that manager's a dick, this manager's that. And you can see if a team has a good aura or a good vibe and stuff. People underestimate that in football. Like I said, Arsenal, for the last 2 years, we've been woeful, and it's been the same amount of players, bar the additions that have been here. But one thing I give them credit for is they've got, you can tell that they really like each other. People underestimate how much footballers actually have to like each other to play well. Don't get me wrong, you've got a job to do, and a lot of footballers that you might assume are best friends probably don't give a crap about each other off the field. It's just they're professionals, 90 minutes sort of thing. But you'd also be surprised, and I've been at events, I've asked these questions, and footballers have told me surprising things. He said, I'm not going to name the footballer, but he said they'll be surprised in how many footballers don't like each other. And he said his club, the majority of them don't like each other. You'll see the little funny things in training, but they don't like each other. And one thing I give Arsenal players credit, even guys like Mustafi, who should be cut loose, you can tell they've all got personality within the dressing room. They're all characters. Like, from what I see, I think Mustafi's a big character within that dressing room. I think Mkhitaryan is as well, and he seems to be a very thoughtful person, always buying gifts for people. Obviously, you've got the typical ones with Aubameyang and Lacazette, Guendouzi or Wolby and things like that. Lucas Torreira looks a bit more of an introvert, but he's got the Spanish people there for him that can help him and things like that. There's a lot of togetherness. United, obviously, they're not with the United where they've been for recent years, but you can't underestimate togetherness of Pogba, Lingard, Eric Bailly. Obviously, he's not playing and informed, but Eric Bailly, Smalling, De Gea. You can't underestimate actually liking your teammates. And one thing, back to Arsenal's case, one thing, for all the poor form, for all the mad results, for all the criticisms, one thing that I can't say these players don't lack is togetherness and fight. They fight for each other. They defend each other. Obviously, at times, it hasn't looked like that on the football field, but I honestly believe these players genuinely like each other. And I actually feel, obviously, Unai Emery, don't get me wrong, he gets all the praise, man, because he's bringing the tactics and things. But that makes your job 10 times easier when you have not only having a squad that pulls in your direction, but a squad that actually like each other. You've not got to deal with in-house conflicts, because these things, when you like each other on the football field or fight for each other, these things subconsciously either decrease how you play or increase as you play. And they've all got togetherness. There might have been some skeptical players of Unai Emery within that side already. The players that could see it, they must have had words, and they're all pulling in the right direction. And to be honest with you, as a manager as well, with where the club's been and how these players have been playing for the last 2 years, people underestimate. But Unai Emery's probably had to pick them up and give them self-esteem. You look at Bellerin and Wolby, what he's done for them, and several other players. If you've got players that are confident and fight for each other, that's one less thing to do, because that means, obviously he has to put his hand around people, but that means one less talk of putting your hand around people, patting their back and things like that. Not just Arsenal's case. There's other teams, and I would love to see behind the scenes at a lot of teams, because you would see that a lot of these players don't like each other. You don't have to like each other in the workplace, but think about it, people. Think about a good job you've had and a bad job, or bad teams you've had in a job. In a job, the team that you've been in, that you've all liked each other and you've all been friends off the field. And I'm not necessarily like that, but some people's work is their life, where they tell all their business and all them things. You're going to feel more comfortable in that team. Your production levels are going to be higher. You're going to have better chemistry. Better chemistry could mean better results. Could mean winning better pitches, better clients, sort of thing. Well, if you don't like each other, everybody's just out. Obviously, everybody's out for themselves anyways, but everyone's just out for themselves. Oh, man, I'm not going to listen to DG's idea because he's a bit of a prick. Let me get this. Let me try to sabotage his thing. And everybody's got all different things. So if I'm going, one's going this way, others that way, that way, that way. Think about how much that would make Unai Emery's job 10 times harder. Where if everybody's kind of on the same page, liking each other, you can move forward as a place, man. I really think people underestimate how much getting along and being good friends or being friends in general is, man. You look at Kohler and Ozil and all the togetherness of things, and that helps us as well, man, because you look at, we're going slightly off topic, but regardless of what you feel about Xhaka, who else was I going to say? Kolasinac, Kolar, Xhaka, Socrates the best of the lot in my opinion. But whatever you think of these opinions, what I like about them is these lot are good characters within the dressing rooms as well. Obviously, Socrates has just come in and Kohler's not been here that long. Kohler's got a good togetherness with the players you see off the field. Xhaka's got the good captainciness. And Socrates, you're seeing how he's bonding and gelling in very quickly. Him and Mavropanos, two countrymen, probably sees a younger version of himself in Mavropanos. Obviously, he's there with Mkhitaryan and Aubameyang previously, so that helps with the thing as well. And that helps you fight for each other, man. I'm going off topic, but I just wanted to say, regardless of Socrates, Xhaka, or Kohler's opinions, one thing or ability, or your opinions on their ability, one thing I like about them, man, there is they don't take getting badded up, man. They're really on defending themselves and things like that. I really like that, and defending the team, man. Whatever you feel on Xhaka in particular, I think that is he's a very brave individual personally, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Also wanted to say on off topic that Arsenal have given away 6 penalties. I found that I saw it on Obino's, that very good stats account of Arsenal, saw it on his Twitter account. We've given away 6 penalties this season. Only Fulham and Brighton have more. Obviously, some of them penalties have not been penalties. You look at Spurs, even probably holdings at home against Spurs. Probably was a foul, but I'm an Arsenal fan. There's been a couple of times, don't get me wrong, it's been legit fouls, but a couple of times they've not been pens. And we've actually been fouled 366 times as a football club in the Premier League this season. That's the most. So maybe, just maybe. Obviously, I do think all football fans go over the top with the conspiracy stuff with refs, but we know the standard of refereeing is poor. And maybe, just maybe, Arsenal are being harshly done by refs. But I'm not going to lie, I also feel by this, Arsenal included, all of the Premier League fans, Premier League clubs, don't get me wrong, some decisions can negatively impact your club. It can be as extreme as relegation or missing out on the title. But I do think it's a give and take. The refs are so poor and so inconsistent in this league. Arsenal might get shagged against, we might get shagged against Spurs when it's not a penalty. But we might have, I have seen it. There's some goals that we've scored that are offside, or there's been a foul, or sometimes it should have been a foul to the opposition and it's not. Obviously, some teams get nice better, but I do think it's not a level playing field, but because the rest are so incompetent, you're bound to get your decision right. Again, if you support a team outside the top 6, you might have something different to say. But yeah, man, in regards to me, I'm going to keep it pushing, people. I ain't got nothing else to add. So people, Deluded. If you wish, comment, subscribe, and do the rest.